After traveling all night, little Alan is exhausted, especially since he has to hold the girl named Ella, making his arms numb. Despite wanting to stop and rest, Uncle Harold keeps urging him to hold on, showing no signs of stopping. The midnight mountains are eerie, with trees swaying in the wind and occasional wild animal howls from the forest. Although Alan has grown up in a mountain village, the ghostly cries in the forest still turn his face pale. Eventually, he simply closes his eyes. When Alan wakes up, it is already daylight. He finds himself no longer on the horse but in Uncle Harold's arms, with Roy and Ella walking beside him. Ella, noticing Alan awake, gives him a cute smile and says, "Brother Alan, we're almost at Winsong Town." Roy, on the other hand, just pouts and says nothing, still holding a bit of resentment towards the little bully. "Uncle Harold, where's the horse?" Alan asks. "It died." "It was quite old," Uncle Harold replies. "It died? How will we get back?" Alan asks again. "We're not going back. You'll be studying here for a long time. I'll get a good horse to bring you back when it's time," Uncle Harold says, his eyes flickering with tears. After walking for about an hour, they finally see Winsong Town, a small town with a population of tens of thousands. The three children are visiting the town for the first time, their bright eyes wide open, curiously observing everything. After a meal in town, Harold takes them directly to the mayor's residence, leaving the three children outside the hall while he discusses something with the mayor. Alan, seeing such a big house for the first time, is ecstatic. Roy and Ella feel the same. Harold and the mayor talk for a long time. Finally, Harold comes out with red eyes, and the old mayor, though troubled, manages a smile at the three children, saying, "Only 3 children left?" "Yes, Mayor. Roy can release Chi and Alan." "Oh yes, Lord Blake said Alan could become an arcane mage," Harold says. "Oh, I'll immediately summon Lord Blake." The mayor, too, is excited. An arcane mage is rare for a remote town, and his excitement is understandable. Blake, the arcane mage Alan had encountered, is a renowned intermediate arcane mage in the area. Blake, about 60 years old, holds a sandalwood staff and wears an arcane hat. His elegant attire dazzles the three children. "Oh, it's that child. I remember. He indeed has the potential to become an arcane mage. But I was in a hurry that day and didn't have time to assess his arcane talent," Blake says, smiling kindly as he recognizes Alan. "What is arcane talent?" Alan, fearless as ever, asks directly. "Oh, arcane talent is a special ability that awakens in arcane mages around the age of 7 or 8. It varies in strength, affecting their ability to communicate with the elements. Let me test your arcane talent first," Blake explains, placing several arcane orbs in his palm and releasing them. Seeing the orbs float in the air, Alan instinctively reaches out to catch them but is amazed to see them hover. "Wow, that's amazing," the three children exclaim simultaneously. "This is just a simple wind arcane." "Now, place your hand on one of the orbs," Blake smiles and instructs. Alan, his eyes shining, feels even more determined to become an arcane mage. He nervously wipes his hand on his clothes before excitedly placing it on the warm, transparent orb. It lights up. "It really lights up," the mayor exclaims as the orb in Alan's hand glows softly, illuminating his innocent face. Blake smiles in satisfaction, putting away the glowing orb and telling Alan to try another one. "Lord Blake, what does this mean?" Harold asks. Lighting one orb means he has the basic arcane talent, a weak talent indicating he can only become a low-level arcane mage with limited potential. "Lighting 2 would be much better. I lit 2 during my test," Blake explains. Ella and Roy, excited by the spectacle, wish they could touch the orbs themselves. Harold feels relieved. Becoming an arcane mage, even a low-level one, is enough to protect their village from magical beasts. He hasn't hoped for much more, knowing that an intermediate arcane mage like Blake is already the most authoritative figure in the nearby towns. Alan's heart pounds. If he can light 2 orbs, he can make things float and protect his village from magical beasts. With sweaty palms, he carefully wipes his hand on his rough clothes again and reaches for the second orb. Everyone holds their breath, watching Alan's actions, afraid to make a sound that might affect the outcome.